Birds by Richard Henry Stoddard, 1825 to 1903. Birds are singing round my window, tunes the sweetest ever heard, and I hang my cage there daily, but I never catch a bird. So with thoughts my brain is peopled, and they sing there all day long, but they will not fold their pinions in the little cage of song. Okay, this is a poem by Richard Henry Stoddard. He was born in Massachusetts, in Plymouth County. This is near Plymouth Rock, where the Mayflower landed. His father was a sea captain who was lost at sea, and then he moved to New York City. He then became a blacksmith, but he was still reading poetry, and then finally he gave up blacksmithing to make his money writing poetry and various other things. So what's this poem about? Well, I rather like this poem. I think it's quite clever. Let's see. It's about birds, and the birds are always singing around his window, but the whole thing is a metaphor, and he wants to be able to catch the birds or the song of the birds and to put it in a cage, but he can never catch it. And he's talking about the idea of creation, the idea of being surrounded by beautiful ideas, by beauty everywhere, and complex thoughts and complex emotions, but it's very, very difficult, if not impossible, to express these through art, through words, through this creative process. So he's comparing the beautiful song of the birds, which are all around, and he can't put them in a cage. And then there are these wonderful thoughts in his mind, and these are singing like the birds, but he can't put these in a cage either. It's very difficult to express the beauty of the thoughts and of the ideas. And this is what it's about. This poem is about creativity and how difficult it is. So birds are singing round my window. There are birds around his window singing. Singing round my window, tunes the sweetest ever heard, the most beautiful songs. And I hang my cage there daily, but I never catch a bird. So every day I hang my cage to see if I can catch a bird in the cage, but I can't catch them. I never catch the bird. And then he explains, but this is a metaphor. So with thoughts my brain is peopled. So there are lots of beautiful thoughts in my brain. Each of these is a person. He's almost personifying these thoughts. And they sing there all day long, just like the metaphor of the birds. But they will not fold their pinions. The pinion is the last bit of the wing in the little cage of song. So they won't. I find it impossible to convert these thoughts, these beautiful thoughts that I have in my mind, into songs, into art, into poetry, into words. And this is saying how difficult it is to express his complex thoughts, his complex emotions in words, in poetry, in song. And The whole poem is really an extended metaphor. I think this poem is talking about the ideal of spontaneous genius, that you suddenly get this idea and you suddenly write it. And I think that's a very romantic ideal. And it's not easy to take control of creativity, and this is something that you very often, when your muse is not there, it's impossible to put out your hand and take. So Birds by Richard Henry Stoddard.